Let me just make sure that I have everything set up for you. Make sure it comes on live, and we will be able to get started. I'm excited to be here with you tonight. Okay, so let me just refresh my screen. There I am. Okay. All right, so welcome to Thursday night, and my name is Kathy Schmitt. I am the Backyard Stamper, and I go live every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern to show you cards and tips and tricks and what have you. I also go live on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern for scrapbooking. So I hope you'll join me one of those times. And let me flip the camera down and we'll get started. So if you're new to my channel, let me just, sorry, I didn't realize that all that junk was in the way. If you're new to my channel, you can sign up for my newsletter by going to this QR code. And if you have any questions, then you can email me, Kathy@backyardstamper.com. And if you like anything or want to sign up for the Paper Pumpkin, then you can visit my online store, kathyschmitt.stampinup.net. Okay, so tonight I'm going to show you some alternatives to the June Paper Pumpkin Kit. This was called Bikes and Blooms, and these are the three card designs that this kit made, and you always have enough supplies to make 3 of each one. So what my friend Debbie Frank at Frankly Stamping, check out her YouTube channel, she and I host a Paper Pumpkin Craft Along Zoom every month for our Paper Pumpkin subscribers. So if you would like to join in on that fun, then I put a link in the description below, and you can sign up to check it out. So this kit came with your envelopes. You get these 3 nice envelopes, and the stripes are different colors, but honestly I had a hard time seeing that, but these pieces here are nice for using. I only chopped up 2 of my envelopes, and that was to make Debbie's cards, because Debbie had alternatives and I had alternatives, and so in our craft along we show off the alternatives. This is what the stamp set looks like, and nice little bicycle and some nice flowers. I love this "have a lovely day." I say that all the time to people. Have a lovely day, and you can always use a thank you. I send so many thank you cards and best wishes. You got some cute butterflies, and overall a really nice stamp set. So if it's your first Paper Pumpkin subscription, they include a stamping block, and then after that you already have your block. I always use the Stampin' Up bigger blocks because I need a little more finger grip. And then they include a spot each month, and this month is Calypso Coral. And I will use my full-size pad when I stamp my Calypso Coral, just to keep this sealed, and I can use them as gifts for my customers. So let me walk you through some of the alternatives. This is one of Debbie's cards. It's a step fun fold, and it uses the Calypso Coral card base, and you do use a little bit from both sides of the card base. Usually you can cut one in half and use that, and then use the other piece for something else. But in order to get this strip, you needed that off of the second piece. And then this basket was cut off of this gigantic bicycle there. So you only got a part of the bicycle. So I cut it off and used the basket. Made a giant basket of flowers. Here's a bow 3 times around with the linen thread, and they gave us some linen thread this time, which is always exciting. So we've got not a full roll, but enough to make quite a few cards. And then they gave you this layering piece, and there were some white pieces, not enough in my opinion, to so you could have the white flower part popped up too. So I glued this part down and then just popped this base up. And instead of Calypso Coral, I stamped it in purple because I liked the gorgeous grape with it. There's that Have a Lovely Day. And this is part of an envelope, this back design here. So it's ready to stamp on the inside, and this does fit in a regular size envelope. And what I let's see here, I have a piece here from one of the so this is the bicycle that I cut off part of it. But if you do that, save that big piece. It's a pretty large piece, and I stamped my extra flowers on that to fussy cut. So here's another bicycle I did in the Calypso. So I've got gorgeous grape and Calypso flowers, because the white is a slightly different color than our basic white. All right, here's another card that Debbie designed. This was an up and over card is what she called it. And so we used the yellow bike and the smaller basket or box of flowers, and I added in 2 different color flowers, and I used purple on my tag. For this inside piece, I used Vine and Stone embossing folder. I like how deep the impression goes. And then you use an envelope for the inside. And then I did Have a Lovely Day and used some purple flowers. So pretty good design, Deb. I love that. Let's say hi to everyone. Hi, Debbie. Speaking of you. And Susie. Hi, Susie. And Anne. Hi, Anne. Move my camera up. It's too close. Is that what it is? It's thundering out. Ooh. How's that? And I went in the pool today, and Marty was there, but it's not the same as floating with you, my friend. I miss you. Here's a card that I designed. It's a book binding fold. So what you do is you score your card base. You use an 4 1/4 by 11 card base. So it's the tall one, and you score it 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. And that gives you the 2 score lines. So one is the 5 1/2 to fold it in half, and the second one creates this book binding fold. And so I used a yellow card base and cut it up. So some of the card bases, the one side had like a little stripe of darker color. And so I put that at the bottom, and then I just punched 2 holes and did a double bow with my linen thread, so to decorate the book binding. It's glued down, so you don't have to tie it shut, but it looks kind of nice that way. And then they had these really cool little embellishments to stamp your greetings on, and they had little rivets in them, so it looks like it's attached to the basket. And then I stamped my butterflies in Calypso Coral, and I added Wink Stella to everything. So I haven't stamped the insides yet. So usually on my thank you cards, I don't stamp the inside. All right, here's a card that I made using this big yellow bike. So for the directions, they have a lovely day. I did that. and then your box of flowers, and I stamped different flowers by accident. So, and then you got your yellow bike, and it's on a green card base. But what I decided to do was take 3 card bases cut in half. Hey, Christina, wow, long time no see. Hope you've been well. I did each one in a different embossing folder, and what you want to do is have like a thick embossing folder, something that really shows the pattern. And then I took my trimmer, and so those measure, I cut each one at 2 13/16. And then I turned it and cut it again, just the same way. So 13/16 is one little hash mark past the 2 1/4. So essentially I'm cutting this piece. That's not right. Let's see, what did I say it was? I think I meant 1, sorry, 1 13/16. So there it is. Oh, and this piece is a little longer, I think. Let me cut another one. See, this one still had the fold mark on it, so it's a little different size. Okay, let me double check. It looks like 2 7/8 actually, or 1 7/8. That's what I'm going to go with. It still doesn't look like it's in the middle. What is going on? Okay, let me just do my math. 4 1/4 would be 2 1/8. Oh, and 1/3. It's 2 3/16. Hello. 2 3/16. There we go. 2 3/16. And one more. I'll cut that one off here. 2 3/16. So 3/16 is the hash mark before 2 1/4. And okay, then I took a white piece of cardstock, a basic white thick card base, and I just arranged my pattern, you know, different patterns in different places. So I just sort of did that. I didn't cut something right, I can tell. And let's see, I'll put that one there. I definitely did not cut this yellow piece right. Oops, I don't want 2 oranges together. What am I doing? Okay, so I arranged them however you want, to pleasing to the eye, but you just want it to be kind of like a patchwork. And I glued those down. I did use liquid glue because the embossing is so deep. So when it was all nice and neat, you got this kind of a background. And then I just glued the bicycle on top and added some dimensionals behind the box of flowers and some dimensionals behind these cut flowers and dimensionals here. They also gave us these little butterflies, but they don't do anything for me. I wish they had a color or something, but they're just very plain. So, and I winked up my flowers there. So that was one of my cards. And then this, so here's the card that looks just like the sample. The green with, I did the banner and the box of flowers and everything, but I did a spinner card. Isn't that so fun? I couldn't stop playing with it, and I did add some little butterflies, Wink Stella, and some gems that I had on hand on the inside. So that is really fun. And then my last alternative to show you tonight is this one. We're going to make this one so I can show you how to do the spinners. Isn't that fun? So this is just like the sample. Oh, I forgot to put flowers in there. Debbie, that's what this card was missing. We just put that in there. Well, you know what? I have my flowers. So on my next, when we do make the next card, I'll do some fussy cutting really quick. So let me get the pieces to this, which were right here. You know how that goes. I have them sitting right here. And I have one more alternative of Debbie's that I still need to make. I just didn't have enough time before tonight. So I need that and one of these. So I've got these. Now let me show you how I did, and I'm using a thick basic white card base. So it's going to mount just like that. Works perfectly. So before you mount it, we need to cut our wheels out. And I used my 1 7/8 circle punch. Now on this card, I fussy cut the tire out because I didn't have a big enough circle to cut around. So I just cut following the line. So it wasn't hard. Just I know how some people really, really don't like fussy cutting, and you know, a little bit will be okay. All right, so see how 1 7/8 is a perfect fit for my bicycle tire. So there's one tire, and we'll put this one over there. Like so. I love the way these punches work, so you are watching the back side so you can see everything you're doing, and then you just squeeze down. So that is a 1 7/8 inch punch. Next, I'm going to go ahead and mount this, and I'm going to use some glue because I want to get in that nooks and cranny down here in the corner. There we go. That's a lot of glue. I did not mean to do that. So we will have to wipe some of that off. What I like to do to wipe off extra glue is just take a scrap and wipe it with the scrap. There you go. And you can like kind of spread that around if you need to. All right, there was a little bit of a border here. So something like that looks pretty good. Hi, Mom, I hope you're watching. I forgot to say hi. I forgot to remind them that I was going live, but hopefully my dad remembered and has it on for my mom. Hi, Mom. Tomorrow I'm going blueberry picking, and I'm very excited. Okay, so I have these spinner pieces. I got them off of Amazon. You get like a full package for, I don't know, $9 or something like that. And then they have these big glue dots. These are bigger. They're the same size as our glue dots, but they're strong. So I'm going to, now I had a little problem getting it exactly in the middle the other night. So I'm gonna try again tonight to get it right in the middle. You just peel off the backing, and then that looks pretty good. The top, the bigger part is your top layer. See how it's spinning nicely? So I have that one, and here's my second one. If you guys could share my video with your friends or on your timeline, that would really help me. The algorithm's always looking for comments, shares, people who are watching. All those things help grow the channel. And then I'm just going to use, just like I would on a glue dot, just to lift off the backing. Trying not to dislodge it from there. Now, this is my front tire because I only have the one fork. So what I'm going to do is try to line it up as if I was putting the circle back inside each other. And that, see, that's how you know you didn't get the spinner in the middle, because your tire is not rotating correctly. Rah. So let me see if I can fix that. Okay. Yes. Okay, so let's do this one. I couldn't stop playing with these. I even showed my husband and he spun it because he thought that was pretty neat. All right, so here's my bicycle. I'm going to put it like I'm putting it inside my circle. So it's where it's supposed to be, and that tells me my doodad is not in the right place. It's thundering. I hope you guys can't hear that. We had the biggest storm last night. Holy moly. The thunder was so loud it woke me up, and I don't usually get woken up by the storms. But I got up this morning and I looked out the window, and our pool table, the table that's near our pool, was flipped over, but down the deck part, the pool deck, and our umbrella was in the woods. So I think what happened is the umbrella caught the wind, and then there we go. I got it close enough. Isn't that fun? So, and then we'll do our pieces here, and I'm just going to use some dimensionals for those. Yes, please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. I appreciate every one of you spending your time with me. So we couldn't decide the other night. I really like having the strings, so I am going to just add some flowers, and I'm really digging the purple, but I'll use the calypso on this one. And so I used that piece of the bike and stamped my cluster. This is one stamp, and then I just fussy cut around. Around the grouping. So we had left our awning open too, which we normally do, and just tip it when we know it's going to storm. And my husband this morning got up and tipped it and had like buckets of water. So it's tipped tonight because it's so hot here in New Hampshire, and the humidity, so that's why we're getting thunderstorms every night right now. But that's okay, because then I won't have to water my garden. I've been picking peas and carrots and lettuce. So it's very fun. All right, there is my flower. And I'm just gonna kind of put it like so. Let's put a dimensional on there. So it's going to kind of look like it's coming out of the basket. I like that. But you can still see the break line underneath it. And I do want to add a little jazz of Wink of Stella on there because it does need some shine. We all need to shine, right? Shine on, shine on. Okay. Whew, that one's a full one. There, that adds a little something, and we'll do this plant too, and the books and the whole basket. There. Isn't that fun? So, what do you think? Do you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin? Do you make alternatives? Honestly, I've been a Paper Pumpkin subscriber for probably 2 years, maybe more. And until Debbie and I started collaborating on the alternatives, I never made any alternatives. I was happy to make them just like the kit. And because I wasn't getting anything done if I was waiting to make the alternatives. So this way, so then now that Debbie and I collaborate, it's a little easier. And it's funny because we don't show each other the cards. So it's always a surprise to us too, what each other is making. So there you have it. Let me check the comments. Oh yeah, you could, because you're on the East Coast and so am I, Christina. We are getting some bad storms. So, well, I hope you all have a wonderful 4th. And I'll put that one that I made earlier in there too, because that one spins really nicely. And have a nice 4th of July and be safe out there. The traffic was so heavy. So, you know, just be safe out there. Let me come back and say goodbye to you guys. And come back. So I got new glasses. So these are my new glasses. I always wear contacts, but I'm trying to reserve how many contacts I go through because they are expensive. And so I got my new glasses, so I wore them all today. It's hard to do computer work though because it's multifocal, so I tend to do a lot of this. And that's not good for my neck. But if I'm not doing computer work all day, then these are fine, and they are transitioned. So when I went in the pool, I had instant sunglasses on. So all right, you guys, take good care, and I will see you. I will not see you next week because I have a different commitment on Thursday. So hopefully I'll be here Sunday. We're having some company this weekend, so I'm not really sure if my room will be available. I might have somebody sleeping in there. So, but anyways, take good care. Bye, everyone.